this I'll just touch on briefly. The city of Chicago is doing some weird things.
The so non-corrupt city of Chicago is doing what?
They're charging a 9% amusement tax on services such as any streaming service, such as Netflix, Spotify,
Hulu,
Xbox Live, and PlayStation Network. Meaning, in addition to what you are paying for this service, you are paying more to the city of Chicago, presumably for the amount you are taxing their internet, their wireless traffic. I find that fairly fucking despicable, and I like Chicago, but
fairly despicable.
That's fucking awful, dude.
That's sort of the same thing. I talked about me renewing my California car insurance, and there was a line item for like the fact that I'm paying 6 months at a time.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a generic 84-cent California tax, just because.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, what the fuck? First of all, the fact that it was like 84, I didn't remember ever seeing it before. It's like, oh, we can just make this money. We'll just put it on. No one's gonna care, But this is fucking heinous.
Yeah,
it's heinous.
It's like when you get a bill and there's all those hidden charges. Yeah. They're simply doing it because they can.
They can do it.
And that's, I don't know. That's insane. If I lived in this, I would. I have friends in Chicago, but they live in suburbs and whatnot. I would love to know exactly how this is being. So and it's not affecting the suburbs. It's the city that it's affecting. I would love to know from someone who's in the city, if you're listening, put it in the comments. Like, what are people doing? I mean, are there people who are actively pissed trying to get something done about this? Because I sure as shit would sign on to what the fuck ever was like trying to get this changed.
I'm going to be political for a little bit here, just because the taxes is political. And you can always say, well, this money could be going to education, could be going to infrastructure. I have no problem being taxed if the money is spent competently and you know where it's going. But it's laughable that one of the most corrupt fucking states in the union, with a horrid history of corruption, puts taxes in place like this. Can you go 12 years, Illinois, without one of your governors or senators sent to prison for some sort of extortion of corruption? Do that, and then you could start putting on taxes on whatever you want to do. If you look at the history of corruption in Illinois, it's fucking disgusting how in the past 50 years there's been multiple governors. Almost every other governor has been sent to prison, or starting from de Blasio going back to the 60s, or state senators. You just had Jesse Jackson's son get sent to prison for a couple of years. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. I don't remember if he was even in the state of Chicago, but I'm just throwing that out there. But just look at it. You can look up corruption in Chicago. So there's no sensible reason. It's not like there's a competitive thing going on in Chicago that, well, we have to, balance out the competitiveness and charge more for Hulu Plus versus something happening in Chicago. Because usually with a tax, that can make some sort of sense.
There's no Chicago upstart that, like a tariff. Like the Brazil tariffs.
It's not a tariff. This is just, let's just fuck you in the ass because we can do it. Is what it comes down to. And you can say, well, if I'm paying $9.99 a month for Hulu or whatever, that's only an extra 90 cents a month. Yeah, but then it's about $11.50 a year or whatever, $11.20 a year, times 1.5 million people or 2 million people.
That is so many burritos.
It's so many burritos, but guess what? That's going to be one corrupt politician's burrito count for that year, because that money's not going to be going anywhere in the state.